morning, people. I just had to do this now because I could not believe the shit show that I saw yesterday, what I could see or hear of it, because I tried to do a live with Rolex. He thought something was wrong with his audio. It wasn't Rolex. All of YouTube was messed up. In fact, it was even down for a short time. So everybody that had problems, not your problem, it was YouTube's problem. And I tried to listen to some, but the one that got me really the worst, and I want to make, hi Brenda, good morning, sweet friend. I don't know how many people will be in here because I've just done this since we spoke, actually. So I went and tried to see some of these lives that I missed. And I just want everybody to know right now, I do not apologize to anybody for anything I've ever said, and I never will. And I will not get along with people that I despise. Get along, pay along to get along. I'm not that way. I am what I fucking am, and you'll learn to deal with it. And pull stick, you can take your little come in here and don't bash Peeler, don't come in. Well, I won't come in, pull stick, because these motherfuckers are not going to change. And if you're playing this little game, you're as dumb as they are. If they're a rotten person, they stay rotten. There's no apologies. There's no truces. There's nothing, because they are what they are. And I want to let everyone know and be on blast that I'm staying exactly like I am, by myself, with Hyena, Team Terry Time. I don't need anybody else. I have friends that I talk to on the phone. These content creators are a dime a dozen. And this phony baloney, fake kumbaya, we're all going to forgive everything. Well, I don't forgive things. And I have not had nearly the shit done to me that some of you have had done to you by Chicago, by Pull Stick, by FBS, by Johnny Mac, by Pizza, by any of the list goes on, by all the bottom feeder women. They've all done terrible shit. And let me tell you something, none of them have changed, nor will they ever change. So the people playing this foolish little game are dumber than the creators are, and they're all idiots. Come here, Hyena. She may not come up here. She may be too scared. Hyena, didn't we see this coming, baby? Didn't we see this coming? It's been coming a long time. So any of you people that fall for this little, oh, we're going to get along and squash all the problems, not me. Not me. I'm not forgiving one single person. Not one. Not for anything. Not ever. They called kids. They posted kids. They've called cops. They're still doing it. They've called pizza. They've lied about people. They've posted TPOs. And then what's John Yates doing up there on a channel with fucking Maria? They ask for what they get, and they get what they ask for. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I am staying true to myself, because that's all that matters. Myself and my daughter. That's it. If I want to do my food reviews and make them a little sexual, I'm going to continue to do it. I don't care whose feelings get hurt. I don't care who gets triggered. I don't care about anything. I know what I do is right. I don't lie. I tell the truth. And if you people want to play this little game of going in each other's chat and getting along, it's just a game. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. And I'm so happy that I didn't fall into this shit, because I really don't care about any of you. I hang out with the Trump people and my America's Untold Stories people and Brandon Tatum and the conservative twins, people that mean what they say and do what they say, not this bunch of phony baloney content creators that are trying to make a name for themselves. I can't say that about Rolex and Joey or Carlos. They're still special. But if they fall into this forgive and forgive everything, then they're making a mistake. That's all I can say. Because there's not going to be any changes. Not going to be any changes, people. People are what they are. They don't change. I dare any of you to tell me somebody that's changed. In mob, tube, bottom feeders, a darky verse, anywhere. Name one person that has changed. You can't do it. If they're counting it by days, maybe a couple days they'll act right. I, for one, know Maria has never changed. For the 5 years that I've known her. 5 years. Jen Bailey's never changed. 5 years. Pullstick's trying to act now like he didn't do anything. Pullstick, you did a lot, and you did plenty, and you put out false information. And if Chicago wants to forgive you, that's fine. That's Chicago. That's not me. I'm not being friends with anybody that I haven't already been friends with. And that would be Rolex and Joey. Bambi, how you doing, girl? Okay, thank you, Bambi. I just did this impromptu because I saw this stupid phony baloney friendship making going on. That is a total joke. I just want people to know I'm not falling for any of it. No apologies, no excuses. Not here. Not on my show. And I'm going to stay like I am. I'm not going to be nice because I might trigger a few women that get triggered real easy. Or somebody's dying, or somebody's got a migraine headache, or somebody got beat up. A fake beat up, by the way. Johnny Mac never laid a finger on FBS. Not a finger. He was a cameraman only. That's all he was. And that was the most piss poor beating I've ever seen in my life, because I've been hit one time and been hurt worse than him. Been knocked unconscious. Of course, I deal with real men. I don't deal with little city slicker, half-ass little people that make fun of rednecks and hillbillies, the backbone of this country, and the people that'll save this country. I don't fool around with you little city slicker. Maybe I'm a mob guy, maybe I'm not, and you're all calling cops. How stupid is that? Ain't none of you got any kind of mob blood in you at all. You're a joke. A laughing joke. You want to come on? Come on. I can't because I've got stuff to do. I had stuff to do yesterday. Let me see what that message is held for review. Fuck those cons. That's right. I don't know why they're hiding your thing. I'm going to leave it here, but I'm reading it, baby. I can read what you said. I don't team up with nobody. I team up with my dog, Hyena. That's it. I do my own show, my own way. I've done it for 18 years. I've proved everybody wrong. I can put my legs over my head. I can do jumping jacks. My eyes are not little squinty eyes, and I don't go around and making fun of people's looks. I don't do that. But I'm not going to be phony friends with anybody. That's not happening, Pullstick, or any of you other phony balonies running around in each other's chat like everything's fine and dandy. It's not fine and dandy. You're all exactly like you were the first day I ever fucking met any of you. Every one of you is the same. None of you have changed. Some of you I've never had problems with, I've never spoke to, but the ones that I have had some kind of interaction with are exactly like you were in the beginning. You have not changed, and this little friendship ring is going to backfire on you, because who's going to sit in there and listen to a bunch of grown men talk about horror movies? Get real. Go to the horror movie genre, or the horror movie genre and I'm a good step in that direction. And if these stupid females want to send out nude pictures, accept it. That's what they do. I've got them. Why are they sending them to me? You never seen one of my nudes out there, and you won't unless you pay for it. You will not see a nude of mine unless it's paid for. And believe me, there's plenty of them. Bambi, I've seen you flip and flop too. Just since I've known you. You don't even know these people good enough. I don't know what community you came from, but you're not even up to date on the bottom feeders. It would take you to be a scholar to find out everything about them. I've been with these freaks for 5 years. I know about them. I barely know about Mob 2, but I know enough to know there ain't none of them that's not a cop caller or a snitch. They'll all do it. I don't care if you're walking with your wife to the office to file a complaint that's still telling on somebody. You still called the courthouse with the B and tried to get Johnny Mac jammed up. Well, and you still called his daughter and said all that filthy stuff. But if he's willing to forgive you, that's on him. That's his stupidness. I'm not forgiving anybody. I just want to make it a point. And I don't care if it's a good morning or whatever you think it is. I'm just saying I'm not changing. I ain't no co-conspirator with nobody, Bambi. If you got that idea, you're wrong. I run solo. And a perfect example of why I do it is because of this shit right here. Because I never co-conspired with you about anything or anybody. I handle things on my own. That's why I don't like to get hooked up with people. Because immediately when they see me on somebody's panel or hooked up, they think I'm a big friend. That's not the way it works. Except for Rolex. When I go on his panel, it's out of friendship. Everybody else, I just make a little appearance. I don't even care. So if you got that thought in your head, I'm sorry, Bambi. But we haven't even known each other. I don't even know what your name is. So I'm not co-conspirating with nobody that I don't know. I don't need to. I can do my own stuff on my own. I don't need a conspirator. I was so mad when I seen that shit from Posted. Well, we're going to squash all the... And then you got Kevin on there, the worst recording person there's ever been in this community. Oh, he's a good start, Poolstick. He's a good one to start being true to, is that recording freak. The first recording I ever heard in my life was one that he recorded on Mac, so he could play it for FBS and everybody. You make me sick. You ain't got a mob mentality. You haven't got no kind of mentality. All you do is blah, this shit right here, and show pictures, and threaten people, and call. Well, do it to me then. You all got these big-ass fucking mouths. Y'all run around running your mouths to each other, but I ain't seen none of you come real life on me. Ever. You know why? Because my shit's out there and you can't do anything to me. Because I have stayed alone and stayed with my own beliefs and stuck up for Trump and stuck up for hillbillies and stuck up for rednecks and stuck up for white trash. And that's who I am and that's what I am. I've never called a cop in my life. Not even to save my life. That's how much of a non-cop caller I am. People. And I'm using that term loosely. I don't need to go. Whatever, Bambi, I don't know you good enough. I just know you went and put some flyers on Jules. I thought that was funny. I have told you to come to Texas, use some pictures of me that I give you, and put some flyers. That shit don't bother me. That's a joke to me. That is a joke. But I do know you've been involved with cops, and that's something I will not tolerate from anybody. Once a cop caller, always a cop caller in my book. Of course, I know I'm a lot older than you little freaks, and you don't know how real life works. Ladies on a roll, because I woke up, Chris, to that idiotic... The audio was off yesterday. It would have been a fantastic show with me, and it was all right with Joey and him, but the audio wouldn't work. Well, then I found out half the people I listened to, the audio wasn't working, and then my YouTube was down, so then I knew it was YouTube. It wasn't the people. It was YouTube. Was causing the problems. So when I saw this, it pissed me off so bad that Poolstick had the nerve to put in his title, if you can't come in here and squash things, don't come in. Well, I won't be coming in. I never did anyway. I watched you on replay. Poolstick. It's probably done more to anybody there is, except for the bottom feeders. They've got you all beat. They've done shit to everybody. You're just catching up with them, buddy. You're just catching up, and you got Maria, the worst of the worst, in there with you. Good luck. Poolstick, you're going to need it. And I am not making up with anybody. If I hated you, I've hated you. And if I tolerated you, I've tolerated you. And if I'm friends with you, you have my personal phone numbers. Otherwise, you're just somebody I accidentally have to see once in a while. And I don't even care. You got it, people? This is a joke. This big Friends Forever, and Kevin, the biggest recorder in the country, is now being a big friend, and Stone Sailor with all the shit he said and done just because he did a little time in the armed forces. He thinks he's a hero. You're not a hero, Sailor. You're an obnoxious. I barely can listen to you, and I don't like Brittany, but what you said about her, they're just all brushing that under the rug. I was married to a Vietnam vet. My dad was in World War II, so don't talk to me about stolen valor and shit. You don't even know what you're talking about. None of you do. I am myself, Team Terry Time and Hyena, and that's the way it's going to stay. I don't need anybody to help me. I don't need anybody on this channel. I don't need to go on anybody's channel because I'm never going to change. You will never see me up there kissing and making up with anybody. It won't happen. It will not happen. I have never called a cop. None of you can say that. Poolstick tries to say he didn't, but going to file some papers out with Tina, that's the same thing to me, Poolstick. Ain't no difference. You're trying to get somebody jammed up. That's all I know. I handle my own shit. Always have. And I'm going to hang with my hillbillies and my rednecks and my Trump people because I'm about sick of this phony shit over here. I've been sick of it for a while. So if you want to see me, folks, you're going to have to come over here on my channel and see me because I'm not wasting my time on other people's panels. It's a waste of time, a waste of my time, and it's a waste of their time because they stay the same. They don't listen. And if that dog doesn't quit barking, I'm about to have to go let him out. Police department on Johnny Mac, Chicago Muscle, and Tony Pizza, but he wouldn't publicly say it. Who are you talking about, Chris? I know he did. I know he did. He called Johnny Mac's daughter or boyfriend or something and threatened to rape him. He didn't deny that when that was out there. Now he's acting like he's a big peacemaker. Peacemaker or what? What exactly is he a peacemaker of? Because the mob community is worse. Well, it's not worse than the bottom feeders, but it's the same. They're all cop callers. They all say everything they know. They flip and flop. They're in behind the scenes. You wouldn't believe the people trying to make up with me. You would not believe it. But since I'm not a recorder, I'm not going to put their names out there, but they're all the same, every one of them except me. I don't care if I trigger people. I don't care if I got a foul mouth. I don't care if I do food reviews, make them into food porn. That's the way I am. There's no secrets. That's why these people can't get nothing on me, because there are no secrets. And there's thousands and thousands of nude videos, nudes of me. Have you seen one ever show up anywhere? That's the difference between me and these desperate fucking bottom feeders that want attention. And then they try to blame it on the men when it happens. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say ladies because none of you are ladies. Let me tell you something, you desperate, vile females. If you wouldn't send your goddamn nudes, nobody'd have them. I've got nudes of all of you. What the fuck are you sending them to me for? I'm not a lesbian. And I don't have a porn room anymore. So why am I getting all these nudes? How come nobody has any of me? You know why? Because I was either married to the guys or in a relationship and we didn't spread each other's shit around. And if you get one out of my porn room, you're going to pay for it. $30. I'm not holding no bars. I'm so sick of this phony makeup. And FBS is just as bad, too. He's trying to act like a big friend to everybody. The only people I see staying out of this shit, out of all of Mob 2, is Angel Gotti and Lee. Those are the only two I haven't seen do. And stand-up guy doesn't know enough to keep his mouth shut long enough to keep his channel up. Much like the bottom feeders. They run their mouth, say all this vile shit, play people's stuff, and then they wonder why their channel gets taken down. Ain't nobody striking them. It's YouTube taking it down. Because they can't learn. They keep doing the same thing over and over again. And if they were born that way, and if somebody was in 22 years in prison or whatever it was, they're not changing, folks. They're never going to change. So enter at your own risk, and I'm not doing that. I'm staying by myself, keeping my shit to myself. What the fuck going on here? The truth, I'll tell you what's going on. I don't know who you are. Never seen you before, but it doesn't matter. I just woke up to a bunch of bullshit this morning. This big threatening, if you can't come in my live and squash all your differences, you're not allowed. Well, big deal. Who wants to be in there listening to somebody talk about horror movies and have the worst recorder in Mob 2, Kevin Trotsky, the gay-looking jail guard in there that recorded everybody? I heard the recording, and now all of a sudden somebody's supposed to be friends with him. Are you kidding me? This is a joke, and it's making the mob women, the bottom feeders, look weaker than they are. Because you men are making them look, and they've had 1 million truces, 1 million friendships, and every one of them doesn't even last a week. And this is no different. This is no different. So I'm not getting involved in it. I'm staying true to myself, my hillbillies, my rednecks, my Trump people, and I don't give a fuck about what any of you think. Good morning. Who is this now? Good morning, Oz. Oh, and by the way, all these friendships going on. I haven't seen no big friendship for pizza. Oz just made me think of that. Probably the truest talking person on here. At least he says what his feelings are. I've seen him getting backstabbed. And I totally believe his version of that fight. I don't think Johnny Mac laid a finger on FBS. Not one finger. He was there to be a paparazzi cameraman. That's all he was there for. And he couldn't even do that right. He dropped his phone. FBS was not hurt. I have been hit one time by a man and been knocked out. That beating he had was not a beating if it let him walk around, get in the house, call the cops, and do all that shit. That was not a beating, FBS, and you better hope you don't run into one of my exes or a hillbilly or a redneck that I know, because you would have been getting up and walking nowhere, let alone blaming it on 5 or 6 or 7 black people. I don't think there was any there. Mister, I get along with everybody, and I'm a big atheist. Ain't no atheist in the world that's got a Jesus Christ tattoo. Believe me, I know. Or you could have called it Charles Manson. You'd have been better off. That's what it looked like. That's all J-Mac did, Chris. And he didn't even hit the record button right, because he didn't even record it right. He wasn't going to face up to nobody. He never will. And that whole thing, I'm beginning to believe everything Pizza said. That whoever that Sessa guy is paid FBS off, and it was all a big scam to beg some more money. Beg money, FBS. You say you're not a beggar, you're a beggar. A big beggar. You won't do a show without begging for money. I never do. I never do, and I never have. And if I'm fortunate enough to get something, it goes to an animal rescue, something I'm passionate about. But I can see through shit when I see through shit. And that goddamn fight was phony as shit. Johnny Mac never touched you. Never. I would bet my life and Hyena's life on that. He never touched you. The guy that did touch you could have done way more damage than he did. Believe me, if it had been a 67-year-old hillbilly, could have drop kicked you and put your head in the next week. You wouldn't have been walking around calling no cops. You'd have needed a damn ambulance or a hearse, one or the other. You got a slight beating, and I'm sure they pulled back on that. That's all it was. And these fools that believe all this shit are as dumb as you are. I don't know why these things ain't rolling up. Anyway, I just wanted to say there will be no apologies, no forgiveness coming from this channel. I have had a channel 18 or 19 years, and I've stayed by myself. I say what I want to say. I'm kind of ignoring my puppy people and my fish people, and I feel bad about that, so I may be doing some more of that content. But I'm not going to get in on none of this. You can't come in my room unless you forgive her. Well, fuck you and fuck your room, pull stick. Good luck with talking about movies and soap operas. See how far that's going to get you in having the worst recorder in the world, Kevin, the gay guard. Or the stone sailor with his big threatening mouth just because he was in the army. Big deal. How come both of you couldn't make it as guards? You both had guard jobs and you couldn't make it. I know why. Because I deal with prisoners. I got one in there right now, and they wouldn't tolerate you pussy-ass people. By the way, good morning, Paul. Sorry you had to listen to me, bitch. So anyway, I've been married to two 1%ers. You know how long you motherfuckers would last around them? Not as long as you would a hillbilly. That was no beating. Believe me. That was no beating. And I'm not making up with nobody. Ever. You got that? I'm not apologizing for nothing. Ever. No apologies, no regrets. The only regret I have is wasting as much time as I've wasted over in these two pitiful communities. I'm going to get back with my real people. I've been back with them. Might see some of you guys every now and then, might not. You won't catch me in the chats, I guarantee you. I'll go in a chat Carlos is in. Because that's the only way I get to see him. Joey and Rolex, you know how I feel about you. And that sound business yesterday wasn't nobody's fault. That was YouTube. Just so everybody knows, that was absolutely YouTube fucking up. Trump, 2024. Rednecks, hillbillies, white trash. Keep keeping this country strong, people, because these goddamn people from the city, even the so-called mobbed up ones, are worthless. Worthless. They're cop callers and sissified, doing trivia shows and shit. I don't want to even listen to that, and I'm a female. So, rock on. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. I will not be apologizing to anybody. I won't be in anybody's chats. This is a joke. I can't wait until the first one breaks. And it won't be long. It's probably already happening right now. So, if you want to come to a channel where there's no triggers, no feelings, just the truth, then come and listen to me, and I'll give you exactly what I observed. And I know a lot of the background shit, because I've been friends with a lot of these people behind the scenes, Johnny Mac being one of them. So keep running that mouth, Johnny Mac. I have just touched the tip of the iceberg with you. Just the tip of the iceberg. And you women already know where you stand. I don't care about none of you. The 3 women that I talk to on the phone, and they're not content creators. The rest of you women can go fuck yourselves. Because I doubt if you could find anybody that would want to touch any of you, because don't forget, I've seen your nudes. Nice to meet you, TT. Well, I hope to see you again. I got a bad habit of just going live when I feel like it, but I do a Tuesday, every Tuesday. It's usually a food review, but I make them very special. I don't think you'll regret it. It's usually food reviews are boring, but mine are not that boring. I love convicts. Not drunk drivers and not pedophiles, but real convicts, like the one I have. And I love outlaws. Like the 2 1%ers I was married to. I can't stand these phony baloney shit that goes on. I just can't stand it. And I know why the real ones aren't on there, because they're not allowed to go public and run their mouths like these mob guys do every other day. So pull stick. Your little message. I got it. Bye. Sorry about your bad luck. And all you people that I hated, don't think there's any forgiveness coming from me. There's not. You're exactly where you've always been, and you're going to stay there. Won't be going on no panels. If you want to see me, you can come over here and watch me on this panel right here. The only panel I'll be going on is Rolexes, and that's it. So, have a good day. I've got plenty of things to do today. And just beware of the bullshit, people. These little friendships are not friendships. And these people have not changed. And they're all cop callers. And they're all backstabbers. And they will all backstab you without thinking about it twice. Hi, Hannah, do you feel like giving a blessing, or are you not in the mood? Did I scare you too much? Oh, that's Tammy. Anyway, goodbye, folks. Ciao. And just remember what I told you. If you want the truth, there's only one channel that tells the truth all the time, 100% of the time. That's me. Every time. You want to give these people a blessing? Huh? Or not? Come on. Hannah. Come on. She ain't in a blessing mood. I don't blame her. She knows this is bullshit too. She's seen right through it. So all you little friendly people, oh, it's going to be so exciting. Can anybody wait to go listen to horror movie reviews? Or soap opera reviews? Or old TV shows? Doesn't that sound exciting? I'd rather watch a food review with me doing it than any of that bullshit. And you fucking bottom feeders are right where you belong. Mixed up in with the mob feeders. So, I'm going to get off of here. That just pissed me off so bad when I seen that. Hi, honey. Are you sure you don't want to do a blessing? We'll get up here. I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling no more. I know you don't like that. That's why I've been married so many times. Come on. Amen. Hi, Hina. Amen. Come on. There you go. Come on. Amen. Hi, Hina. Come on. You aren't going to do it? Oh, and FBS, I noticed you haven't mentioned your mother lately. Must be Hyena's blessings work, since you're such an atheist that you got a Jesus tattoo. That looks like Charles Manson. You need to get a new tattoo guy. Anyway, I still don't feel any better about any of them than I ever did. And I won't. Trump. Jesco, I'm saying this just for you. Maria Deborah Silver, the purse snatcher. I want my Louis Vuitton back, you piece of shit. Almost forgot to mention you. I'm glad I thought of Jesco, because he likes the way I say, Deborah Silver, the purse snatcher that got a Louis Vuitton from me. That's the kind of people you're dealing with. Hope to see you guys back in here. You'll get the truth. If you're a half-assed female and get offended real easy, don't bother to come back. Because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to apologize to anybody. Bye. Ciao.